The hunt for those involved in the January 6th Capitol riots continues with now just over 400 arrests that have been made so far. And of course, you have more coming. Uh, I mean, there were, hundreds of people there. I don't know. I don't know how many people were involved. I know there were a lot of people, thousands of people at the rally that happened before, but I don't know how many people actually invaded the Capitol. But nonetheless, we have more arrests that are coming, and a lot of them have to do with the ineptness and stupidity of those involved. Yeah, you have to be a special kind of stupid to invade the Capitol building, but it gets even better, or I should say, even worse. Now, on Thursday, KOMO News reported that federal agents arrested a battleground Washington man for participating in the Capitol riot after uncovering evidentiary photos from the trash bin of his already arrested Capitol rioter father's phone. So his dad had the phone. Apparently, the son used the phone to film himself, or to film himself with the son, something like that. And at the end of the day, was basically trying to get rid of the evidence by throwing it into the not throwing it, putting it into the virtual trash bin on your phone. Okay, then. Well, let me give you more details. Jeremy Grace was arrested on Wednesday in Malala, Oregon, on unlawful entry of a restricted building, among other charges. His father, Jeffrey Grace, was arrested back in February after being linked to the January 6th Capitol riot. In March, ATU interviewed the son, who also lives in Battleground, and said he did nothing wrong, although he admitted to attending the Save America Trump rally in Washington, D.C. With his son. Now, going to that rally, I'm going to say the rally itself, totally fine. All right, you want to go to a rally, First Amendment, freedom of speech, right? What happened afterwards, not freedom of speech. That's when they invaded the Capitol grounds, went on the Capitol building, smashed windows, smeared feces, beat up cops. One of them died, Brian Sicknick. And then, of course, you had lawmakers that are being threatened. Even Mike Pence. You remember? Mike Pence. They threatened Mike Pence. Hang Mike Pence. Hang Mike Pence. Hang Mike Pence.
Mike Pounds.
Or whatever you say. However you say his name at this point. Okay. But look, all of that stuff together, not fine. Turns out those happen to be crimes, some of them serious, and a few actually involving real jail time. Now, look, the majority of the Capitol rioters didn't necessarily get involved in the massive, in the amounts of violence or things like that, but they still face like things like trespassing or stealing mail. And so a lot of them are going to get misdemeanor offenses, but there are a few that will likely get some decent, jail time. So now it would make sense that those of you who were involved would decide, oh, maybe I should delete the selfies and the videos I took of myself while I was doing this very illegal thing that I should not have done. And not only that, but maybe I should, if I know that I'm going to get in trouble and my son is there, well, maybe I should try to, protect a member of my family, from getting in trouble. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to delete stuff off my phone because obviously putting it into the recycle bin is going to, delete all the evidence. Except that, it's not. It didn't. In fact, in an interview with the FBI, Jeffrey said he ended up getting separated from his son before he entered the Capitol building. And maybe that is true. It was a chaotic scene. But that doesn't mean that his son wasn't there. In fact, agents said they later checked the cell phone for evidence and found 3 selfie-style videos in the son's phone's trash folder, all dated January 6, 2021. Oops. Sad. Once again, this is a situation where you can tell that they're not sending their best. I guess he didn't realize that there are ways to extract data that you deleted. Okay? It doesn't, again, computer forensics, pretty important science. There are ways to, get this information. even if you deleted it, even if you sanitized your hard drive, reformatted your device, or whatever. In fact, you'd have to pretty thoroughly destroy any storage medium to make it so that all data would be unrecoverable. But on a phone, for example, moving to something to the trash does not get rid of it. You would actually have to take some major steps. The first thing would be to have a factory reset on your phone. Even then, for somebody who happens to be motivated to get that data, well, I mean, your data could still be recovered even with a factory reset. Not only that, but there's encryption measures that will not keep the government out of your phone forever. Neither is reformatting your SD card. The safest way to get rid of all your data is to completely and utterly annihilate your phone. Obliterate it. It's got to be like nothing more than a pile of goo, shredded, melted, burned, obliterated. Most people don't realize it, the lengths that you have to go to destroy evidence, to destroy data. And I'm not saying that you should. I'm just saying that if you really want to, you might have to, I don't know, do some research on it and try to figure it out. And like, okay, these are the steps that I have to do to get rid of this video, all that, this evidence. And even so, what about if you had posted it somewhere? Again, for example, on Parler, which is now like a gigantic repository for the FBI. I mean, so, again, we're not talking about smart people here, okay? They don't realize that what goes on the internet stays on the internet. But what do you expect from pro-Trump QAnon supporters who stormed the Capitol building and on behalf of a proto-fascist who in reality doesn't give two shits about them or the country? They don't think about these things. They don't think. I'm saying that they're not very bright. They're just some low IQ individuals, okay? They have no idea how things actually work. In fact, if they did, they wouldn't have been there in the first place to storm the Capitol to try to intimidate people into not certifying the election. Again, going back to Mike Pence, they knew that the Vice President Pence, did not have the power to stop the certification, even though they believed that he did. No, it was largely ceremonial. And that was it. He had no power to stop the certification at all. Again, not the brightest bulbs. And who knew that their stupidity and complete lack of knowledge about everything would end up being their downfall? Oh, right. Everybody. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.